Okay, step one, have all the breakers off here. So we're just going to plug right in to the 30 amp outlet. And I like to turn it on to make sure that I get the 2 yellow lights here. Obviously, if the red light was on, there's an issue with this particular outlet. So we're good there, and we're good to plug into the actual RV.
If your unit has a 50 amp, we do have the extenders over here. So if you do have a 50 amp instead of a 30 amp hookup unit, you can use those extenders to plug in accordingly.
Just gonna plug in here. Red light comes on. The RV is now fully powered. Next, I like to put I like to connect the water. So this silver key here is for this small panel here. And you'll see this is for your city water here. This is if you're flushing the tank, which you guys don't have to worry about that. We handle all of that. So you're going to use this the black nozzle here. As well as this diagram, you want to pay attention. This corresponds with the blue switch here. As long as it's down, that's your city water, which is what we're going to connect to. If we were filling the tank, we would just flip this switch, but we're not doing that. So obviously the switch is down. So we're going to use the water hose here. It's the white water hose. We do have a blue one, but you don't want to use the blue one. That's for flushing the tanks and doing other things. So this is your elbow here. This helps alleviate any pressure on the line so that it's nice and clean at an elbow there. This is usually stored in here. So you grab that. This obviously is your filter here. So we're going to take this elbow, just screw that in. And it's not as flush as you would think. So you just want to give it a couple of turns and you're good. I'm going to take the filter in, connect that here. And that's good. And here we're going to connect to the city water. And there is a gauge on here. It's not perfectly calibrated, but we keep that on there just to make sure that the water pressure isn't too high. I don't think you'll have that issue at all, so you're fine. And you probably heard that, so water is now running through the lines, and now your RV is fully functional inside. Again, on that control panel, you want to make sure that the water pump is off, because you have the pressure coming from city water, so you don't need the pump of the RV. Now, if you are not connected to the city water, you want water pump on. That way the RV knows it has to give pressure to those lines so that the water runs through. All right, the last big piece on as far as setting up, you want to grab gloves for this one. That's connecting your septic tank. So we generally have a pack of disposable gloves back here. And we keep what they call the stinky snake in this compartment up here. And anytime you touch anything in this compartment, please make sure you have your gloves on, because as far as I'm concerned, it's all nasty. So there's the tank, or the snake. This is used to make sure that you have a nice downhill slope. And then these are a couple connectors for each end. And then this is just a little piece of insurance to make sure that the cap stays in place. keep in mind you have a gray tank and a black tank. Gray tank is all your sink water. So as you're running the sink, the shower, all of that will end in your gray tank. Black tank is toilet water only. You always want to keep the black closed no matter what. Both of these are closed right now because we're driving. Obviously, you don't want to have those open. So I'll go through when you should and when you should not have the gray tank open. So you just twist this cap off here, and this end is going to connect to it. That cap comes off. It's not unusual to have a little bit of drippage there, but you want to get that on as quickly as possible. As you can see, there's a little bit of residue already in there, so you want to be careful there. This bag is the additional cap that's going to go on this end. So just so that that doesn't drain out, I'm going to hold this up and let that drain back down. Just pop your cap on, and it kind of locks in place. There's a little nozzle in there. Then just immediately put it into your septic tank. I like to put that on there to make sure it stays in place, and then the added insurance here. Okay, take that. This in here. And the last piece is, again, just to make sure that everything is flowing downhill. You want to put these in place and let the tube just kind of rest on it. Depending on how far you are from the actual tank itself or the septic receptacle, you can extend this out. I believe that's a 20-foot long stinky snake, so you don't have to be that close, but obviously the closer you are, the easier it is. But I'll finish up and I'll extend that out, but that is pretty much the entire setup. We've done the electrical system, the water, and your septic. And there's also cable, but we don't have cable at this particular location. But your cable would connect here and goes right to the outlet.
Okay.
Other than that, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy.